Okay. Is being present bring you to enlighten?
So the question is who do you think's going to become enlightened?
No, 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 no. The practice of presence
Yeah.
will bring you to enlightenment.
Well, who do you think's going to get enlightened?
Me.
Who is this me that will be enlightened? Who do you think you are? Like that sounds really aggressive in English. Who do you think you are? But who are you?
Mm, I don't know. I'm me.
What's me? Describe yourself to me.
I'm this person that is. I can watch this person,
Yeah.
but this person is very convincing,
Yeah. So what is this watching that
and
can watch the person?
I'm always thinking that I'm this person.
Yeah, yeah. What else would you think? Well, you might also think about other people as well in the world, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's the nature of
but this
thinking.
one is very yeah, but this one is very convincing, and I'm always convinced.
Always. So who is it that would be convinced? So you've got thinking that's happening, you've got
Yeah,
feeling that's happening, you've got sensation that's happening, and what else is left in your experience?
watching.
Watching. So what's watching?
But okay, I can understand you, but I'm not always aware of that. I am watching this.
Yeah. Who would be aware that you're watching this?
Hmm, I don't know. Me?
Yeah. You can't ever be aware that you're watching this on the human level. There just is watching. So it's actually an energetic shift. It's this shift back to there is everything that's experienced. It's stopping focusing on this thinking mind in opposites that thinks that you are
Okay, what do you mean about focusing?
focusing. So at the moment you're
And I can focus on a thing in my experience.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but what do you mean about stop focusing about me?
Um well it's it's like an energy shift from being this contracted person that believes it's something in time to everything.
Okay, I can understand it, but is this shift is natural or you can make it happen?
This is a very complex question.
Yeah, but I think most of humanity ask that question, and most of the seekers ask that question. If they can really do this shift, or this shift happens naturally, and the people who have that shift are somehow the mm, you know they don't have power to do this shift, and this happens totally random.
Yeah. I think that if I said to you that you don't have the power to do anything, this would be very, very misleading. And I think if I said to you, you do have the power to do something, that would be very misleading. It's not as
Yeah, but
simple.
I'm in that. I can tell you, I'm in that point.
Yeah, your mind is
Uh,
fixating on that.
oh, yeah.
But why do you care about that?
I
Why not just carry why do you care about that? So let's look at that. Like
okay.
what
I can tell you why I care about
yeah,
it because of stuff.
because of suffering. Okay.
Yeah,
So
and the stuff.
you would like to stop suffering.
Yeah,
Well,
I look into your glowing eyes and I see no suffering.
well, I can tell you, I
Is
can,
that?
I can tell you lots of ways to become more relaxed and more happy on the human level. I
Yeah,
cannot,
I know meditation practices that
yeah,
can make you relax, but the suffering is is always come back.
yeah. Well, I would just concentrate on making the human more balanced and then just let non-duality seep in when you're ready, when that's ready, when life decides for that to happen. You know, the
Yeah.
bird's not worrying about or the
So you're
bird or the
saying
wind or
in
anything's not
control
worrying.
over it.
Huh?
I'm just must wait.
No, I'm not saying that. That's what you said. Like
Okay, that's my understanding
yeah.
from what you said.
Yeah. Well, it's very difficult communication because this is one way you can communicate is that I say something and then you interpret into your words and then you say it back to me. But the problem with that is if I was going to say it in your way, I would say it in your way. So it's very complicated communicating. I see lots of interviews of people, and the interviewer always digests what the person that's speaking says and then puts it into its own language. But it never works like that. So you can't really. I'm not saying that you have to wait, otherwise, I would have said that. Like, I'm just trying to say that don't focus on this getting enlightened because it's not you that gets enlightened. Like, so just don't focus on that, but focus on making the human more balanced. I think this is a really wise thing to do.
What do you mean about human making more balance?
So, what I mean by the human becoming more balanced is by understanding yourself psychologically, understand what you are seeking for, understand what it is that you want, and attempt to, if possible, recondition yourself more in line with non separate thinking, with the idea of infinite possibilities. So try to recondition yourself to not. What we tend to be like in the West is very negative and very constricted. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. There's no possibility of this and there's no possibility of that. And so try to recondition yourself to see things as more open, like not as closed as you do, as we do in the West. So that's one thing. And try to move your attention more into the present moment. So more into the I
Okay,
am.
but
So put the,
that's a kind of practice, yes?
yeah, this is what I would recommend on the human
Uh,
level.
okay, the human level needs a practice.
The human even needs to it doesn't need to, but I would recommend that you balance the human out more. I think that the human has become very unbalanced from believing that it's separate and believing that it's an individual experiencing life.
Yeah. Um, I have a one thought in my mind.
Yeah.
When you have no thoughts in your mind, this happens naturally.
No. It's not about not thinking. Thinking is part of experiencing, just like feeling. It's just that our thinking becomes very unbalanced because the thinking is based on being an individual. So when it's based on being an individual, then you have very out of line thoughts, out of line with the way things are. And a lot of hatred and anger and frustration can arise from this thinking. So it's not that thinking's got to stop, it's you've got to see things on the human level more in line with the way they are. And this will help you become more
Mm-hmm.
balanced. So listen to
Mm-hmm.
non-duality, keep putting your attention in the I am, and become more aware of what you're seeking for on the human level. Like, what is it that you're looking for? Like, in every moment. Not in every
Mm-hmm.
moment, you wouldn't possibly be able to do that, it's too complex, but like, what are you seeking from? When your boss is making you feel uncomfortable, what is it that you want from him or her?
Okay. Is the good way to be with my body?
Yeah. Yeah, so
and my
understanding
breathing.
and your breathing, that can be a good way to become more balanced. My preferred way is putting my attention, or what was, because I came from Nisargadatta Maharaj line, was putting the attention into the I am. So moving the
Okay,
attention,
what does it mean?
so moving the attention into the I am is your sense of existence. You know that you feel
Mm.
alive now, that you feel like you are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
moving the personal attention to that. So right now your personal attention might be in listening to me. So now move your personal attention into the sense of being alive.
yeah. But this is so. How can I tell this? Uh, this is not. I don't know the word, but every situation I lose that.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is
That's
not
okay.
permanent.
Yeah. So just do it bit by bit, like just bring your attention back to that and don't beat yourself up in any way. There's nothing wrong with losing that. Just
Sometimes I think I am I am, yes,
yeah.
I have this feeling,
Yeah.
but this feeling mixed up with my activities,
Yeah.
and I kind of lose that,
Yeah.
and
That's
yeah,
okay. That's
and
part of it.
there's suffering.
Yeah. That's part of it, but more and more you practice that, the more and more you'll become balanced. And also understanding your body, so understanding what your emotions and what your body is telling you. So if you're doing something and your body's feeling uncomfortable, try to understand what it is your body wants. Because when you're feeling really uncomfortable, there's something you want that you're not aware of. Like there's something else you want. You don't want to be there. There's something that's in resistance to what's happening.
Yeah, but
So understand that.
yeah, but I can agree with you, but I do not have this information.
Yeah, the way that you find the
I don't I
information.
don't know how to interpret this.
Yeah, it will become more obvious the more that you do it. So you just begin to put your attention in your body and see what your body's saying. And don't feel overwhelmed with it. Don't let your mind become overwhelmed by that. Like always assume that you're doing it correctly. You don't need to assume that you're doing it wrongly. And if you are assuming that you're
Okay,
doing it
so
wrongly,
accept everything what happens.
sorry?
You said accept everything what happens.
Yeah, there's a surrender to what's happening, yeah. So it's you
Mm.
try and recondition yourself that you're doing it correctly, like that you are getting it right, and just keep investigating. So if you're having the feeling that you're doing it wrong, on the top, see, I'm actually doing this right. There is a feeling in my body that's saying I'm doing it wrong, and just investigate
Uh,
where that is, where you feel that. But I know
okay,
what the
I
mind's
have a
like. The mind loves to confuse. So the mind likes to say, this is too complicated what she's saying. I'm doing it wrong. I can't do it. And then it feels powerless and overwhelmed. And that's the nature of separation. The way
mm,
that our society conditioned us currently is constantly to feel powerless and feel like you can't do something and like you're trapped. It doesn't mean to. It's just the way that works for producing workers. Like, in order to produce workers, the best way to produce a worker is to make them feel like they're guilty in some way and that they've got a debt to pay, and then to keep going to work and keep abiding by these society's rules. So, so just see that our society has conditioned us to feel powerless and to feel like there's something wrong with us. And this stops us stepping out of our society, or it
mm.
stops us setting out of the current set of way of thinking. So to see that that isn't true and that you're not
You got
powerless.
you
Yeah.
okay, you got that very right because I'm a manager in factory,
Yeah.
and and the managing process is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the way our society works.
Uh,
It's not mean, it's just the way, like, we've had to
it's just
evolve
a
so
way to do
quickly.
the things done. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. But it's see,
it's
but when
not
you're
me.
doing your practice, you've got to see that you're not making a mistake, that you're not doing anything wrong, and you've just got to keep moving the attention back to presence and seeing what it is when you're uncomfortable, what it is that you want that's not happening, because that's why you're uncomfortable. The seeking energy that's trying to avoid an
I got
experience.
one thing. I got one thing wrong
Yeah.
in this.
You-
what you said, I do every time, but this answer is like a thought in my mind.
Yeah, that's okay if it's a thought.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like a thought. It will be like a thought in my mind. This is wrong, and I should do this, or it will be like more than intuition.
yeah, yeah. Well, thought's okay. That's a starting place. At least you can see what you're
What to do?
thinking.
Or intuition.
Sorry, I missed that.
Hmm?
Sorry, I missed what you said.
uh, I will put clearly my
Yeah,
I will put clearly my question.
yeah,
Question is, you you said that when I have a feeling, I have to know what that feeling means,
yeah, yeah,
what my body wants.
yeah,
But I have one question.
yeah,
Is this by the thought? I will have a thought about what my body wants, or
yeah.
it will be like more an intuition, but
It's more.
intuition I don't have.
It's more what you do is you can have the thought. So say your thought says, I don't like what my colleague is doing. So your thought is, I don't like what my colleague's doing. And then move your attention into your body and see what your body is doing with that. So look at the emotions and look if there's tension in the body. So so you start off with the thought, my colleague is doing something wrong, and then just you begin to investigate bit by bit. You don't have to get everything right all at once and do everything all at once. Then you just go to your body and see if there's tension there. See if there's a place where it hurts or where you feel uncomfortable, and see if there's an emotional reaction. And at first you can just start becoming aware of this, and then you'll begin to flow more and more in this direction and understand your functioning of your body more. So it's just step by step. So start off with the thought, I don't like what my colleague's doing, my
Mm-hmm.
colleague is annoying me, and then see if you can understand or feel that in the body. So you just move your attention into your torso and see if there's any tension in your heart, in your stomach, in your back.
Okay. Okay. Let's sum it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This I think the sum it up is you have to put your attention away from your thoughts.
The the
Is
goal
this
the
all?
goal it's not putting it away from the thoughts as such, because thoughts is part of being human, but it's putting the attention into the I am, into the sense of existence, repetitively doing that, and
Okay.
becoming equally as aware of the body as you are of your thinking. So we
Mm.
normally just have so much attention in our thinking.
I cannot agree with you in that, because when you're aware of your thinking, you can be aware of your body.
Simultaneously you can be aware. Yeah, you can be
I
simultaneously.
I I have a doubt in that, because when I am aware of my thinking and I know what I'm thinking of,
Yeah,
I cannot simultaneously be aware of my body. I'm
yeah,
in my thinking
yeah, you're in your
in
thinking.
that period of
So
time.
just then, if you can
Yeah.
notice that you're in your thinking, then just move your attention into your body and do it like a practice of becoming more aware of the body. So that's only when you've got the attention. The rest of the day, then just move your attention to the I am as much as you can, and get used to this sense of being alive, this sense of existence. This is where pure joy is, and love is, and
Yeah,
it will manifest.
I
Yeah,
the difficult thing about that, I think, and it can be true with other human beings, is this joy uh, isn't always in um, in the start. You can put your attention in the I am, and this joy doesn't arise, and
yeah,
the human beings are not in their bodies, because this joy doesn't arise immediately,
yeah,
and they put their attention on their activities.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, totally.
And that's the difficult
Yeah.
part,
And
I
the
think.
reason that they put their attention on the activity rather than the I am, and the reason they're uncomfortable is seeking. And that's where the bodily stuff comes in. Understanding what it is you want. It's because they're trying to seek to avoid what's happening because there's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah,
So this is why both of them are
I will
good.
100% agree with you, but problem is this joy isn't instantaneous,
No.
and this
Yeah,
this
I
this
agree. So it can be hard to find the motivation. If you got a hit of joy every time you did it, the motivation would be easier. And this is where there is this element of faith that comes in. This element of surrender to
but uh, not all humans have this element of faith.
no. And it's something that can seem to evolve the more that you listen to non-duality because you begin to hear it. Like when I first heard this subject, I was a practicing, I was a well, actually I wasn't. It was in Buddhism. I then became a practicing Buddhist. I heard it in a talk where someone was talking about the present moment. And when they talked about
Okay.
the present moment, my heart sung. It was like I felt love. And every time they mentioned it, there was just this taste of love. Even though I couldn't force it to happen and I couldn't ask for it on demand, it was like when I listened to someone talk about the present moment or about what was happening, I knew that there was something beyond this timeline that we all lived in, that there was another possibility. And it just hooked me. And and that I just knew that that's where the answer was, that the answer was in that. And it wasn't that I could turn it on every time I practiced or every time I did something. It was just a knowing in my heart. And that's where
Yeah,
faith, I suppose,
but
is.
you have this knowing.
Yeah, I
Not
suspect that
everyone
you've
has
got
this
it
knowing.
as well, otherwise you wouldn't be phoning and asking about this. Like, I suspect that you can
Yeah,
hear it.
I think so.
Yeah, otherwise there wouldn't be the interest in the investigation because
I
it's a.
think so, but I'm more a representative of the seeker
Yeah,
than of the knower.
yeah. Yeah, but that will change. I used to be like that too. Like I could hear it, but there was also another
I
part of
was,
me that got
I
frustrated. So, yeah. So the line's gone a bit funny, I think.
yeah, but yeah, uh, we're speaking about shift, and I want to shift to everybody,
Yeah.
and this is everybody does not get that shift,
Yeah, that's beautiful
and
that you don't want it
it's
just for
not.
yourself, that you want it for everyone. That's really lovely. That's a
Yeah,
really
I
nice
think it would
quality.
be a great place if everyone
Yeah.
would have that shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is difficult because people don't pay attention to this, and the shift is not obvious.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's something that's growing though. In the 20 years that I've been involved in this subject, I've met more and more people that are hearing this and I've seen it grow so much in the last 20 years. So I think it is something that's happening. And if you look at humans, how quickly we're evolving in the
Yeah,
last 50 years, it's really quite
I think
amazing.
evolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it evolves naturally, but I don't know. I don't know if you can do a practice to get to that.
No, I don't think you
I'm
can
curious
because
about.
no, you can't. The way that I see it is you can't do a practice to get to it because it's not you that wakes up. But what you can
Yeah,
do on the human
I can
level,
understand the
what,
concept of my mind.
yeah,
Yeah, the concept of me cannot wake up.
yeah,
It's a thing in me, me myself, that it has no that is no thinking,
yeah.
but
But what you can
I,
do with that, even though
but my
ultimately,
thinking is so strong. I believe more in my thinking than in this presence.
yeah,
Yeah,
it,
it's easier to believe in thinking than the present, because
yeah,
the whole world is
believing in the thinking,
uh,
yeah,
yeah, believing in the thinking, and you need to think about, in my case, managing the factory.
Yeah.
I am a manager of factory, and I need to think about a lot of stuff, and this have to be done by the thinking, and this thinking sometimes get in the sometimes create a suffering,
Yeah.
and I cannot be myself.
Yeah.
I believe so much in this thinking and these problems
Yeah.
that I cannot believe that I'm something beyond
Yeah.
these problems. I'm stuck in there,
Yeah.
and
Just
and then I believe that I'm not enlightenment, and
yeah. Yeah.
and all the stuff, you know, you have to know.
Yeah. Well, just just be open to the idea that that change can happen, and just do those three things that I suggested, and be open to the idea that there can be this shift to you and to everybody. Like, don't be closed to that idea. Be open. Like see what blocks you from the idea that this shift can happen, even if you are the manager of people and you have to think a lot. Like, be open to that possibility, and just give it some time,
Mm.
and carry on listening to these talks and to the talks that inspire you, and just have this trust.
Yeah, you inspire me. I'm listening to your
Oh,
talks.
nice. Nice.
Uh, yeah, really, you have a great talk, and I think more people should listen to you.
Oh,
It's genuine what you said,
nice.
um, but it's not easy.
No,
It's easy.
it's not the easiest of path to take, but I believe that if your heart is genuine, it will happen, and that you don't even need to worry about it happening or not happening. If your heart is open to this, even just a little bit, then there will be this change. Like this,
I
this is all that's
I
needed, is this
my
seed.
I think my heart is open widely,
Yeah,
but
and that's it. That's it. I
the
assure you.
doubt gone.
Yeah,
Uh, without I can say what other people would say to you. I
yeah,
think I'm the representative of this seeker community.
yeah.
I think
I think people are super
because I spent
grateful
so
that you.
much time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, the
I,
line
I,
keeps cutting up a little bit. That's why I talk over you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that people are confused.
Yeah.
Are confused because they do not know if this shift will come naturally, or will they, by the practice of meditation or presence practice, will the shift will be in their lives, and
Yeah.
that's the most confusing part.
Yeah.
This is about all of the teachers.
Yeah. And
Oh, and
it's a very
that's all.
difficult, yeah, it's a very difficult thing to talk about, because on the ultimate level, it's not the person that wakes up, but it seems to be that on the human level, there has to be a
This is most
relaxation
confusing
of that
part.
person.
You said not the person wakes up, but we do not know.
Yeah.
You cannot know anything but this person,
Yeah.
because something beyond this person is sometimes is and sometimes is not, because you are immersed in your thoughts,
Yeah.
and this creates this seeking pattern.
Yeah.
You know? And this is hard
Yeah.
for the seeker. The seeker is a person who sometimes has no choice. He has to seek,
Yeah.
and this is sometimes you have to seek whole of your life, and you will not find, and
I
this is
don't,
sad.
yeah, that is sad. And so now I would say, I would suggest to you to now go into your body and see what your body feels right now.
My body feels peace now.
Peace.
I mean peace.
Yeah.
And I try to be in my body most of the day to feel peace. I try to make my decisions in when I am in my body, because these decisions are more peaceful than when I'm in my mind. But this shift, the shift, what seekers seeks, this shift is about when they see you or a culture, shift when you have no feeling about, and this is most confusing.
Yeah.
These seekers see these faces without thinking, with clear eyes, and they are confused because they are not this happy, and they have no this level of happiness. They have normal life, and they do not accept this, and they do seek, and that's where the problem is, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do a great job. By the way,
Nice.
you do a very great job,
Yeah.
and
I
I think
really
you
appreciate your
found,
questions. I think that people will have appreciated you asking and saying all of this. So thank you very much for calling.
yeah, thank you for
Lots of
your
love. Yeah.
talk. Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Hi. Once the understanding is here, is the me disappearing in time? Not suddenly, I mean. I keep waiting for the me to dissolve, but in the same time, I know it was never here. It is just life. I see now clearly that the person was never here. It is just an illusion, but a part of me is waiting for the person to dissolve. It is like I am in between two worlds. Thank you, Lisa. That's just what the last person was talking about. Just surrender to what's happening. So the mind says there's something you've not got, or there's something you've got to get. Just notice that thought, recognize the feeling in the body. So see that there's a feeling in the body of coming up of feeling like you've got it wrong, feeling like you're guilty, or there's something bad that you've done. Recognize that feeling. See that it's not the reality of the situation, it's how you feel, but it's not reality. And then move your attention back to presence, that you are. Just surrender to this moment. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. This. I understand that your feelings and your thoughts can be overwhelming sometimes, and I don't mean to be dismissive of them.